Oh, it's live.
It's always a good start.
I'll give you bomb. Yeah. I'll give you 3 bomb, and if there's any comments on there, I could make them out as we go along.
No dramas.
I'll leave them, because I'm not nice. Or post that now. Media.
No dramas. We'll introduce about 22 minutes past, a couple of minutes time. Introduce about 22 minutes past, a couple of minutes time.
Please post.
I'll whack the intro on in a second, and then after this bit of music, we'll go live.
No dramas.
I'll whack the intro on in a second, and then after this bit of music, we'll go live. And we're live.
Good evening then, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome to Shoot Some Shale. Welcome to the D&D Media Watch Along. I am world famous kind of Scunny Dan, and I'm joined by Mr. Dylan Hodges tonight. Dylan, how we doing, mate?
Yeah, all good. Yeah, should be good this.
So tonight we are watching along to the Leicester Lions versus the Birmingham Brummies, which should be a hotly contested Row Motor Royal Premiership Round 1 clash. Tonight's stream is sponsored by Andy Dugmore Drum Tuition, music instrument tuition based in Birmingham, with instruments such as drums, guitar, bass, ukulele, music theory, band coaching and performance coaching. For more information, go to andydugmore.net or search on social media at Andy Dugmore Drum Tuition. Do we have a screen share by any chance, sir, or has their stream not started?
Their streams. Oh, thinking about.
About to come.
Yeah, it's started. It's quiet.
What a guy. So, without further ado, I'll go down the home team lineup of the Leicester Lions. The Leicester Lions captained at number 1 by Max Frick. Riding at number 2 will be Luke Becker. Riding number 3, Sam Masters. Going at number 4, Richard Lawson. Shane Douglas skippers the side at number 5. At number 6 will be Drew Kemp. And at number 7, their rising star for this evening, Joe Thompson. Dylan, have you got a man to watch from that team?
I'm going to go with Joe Thompson. I think he's found a bit of form recently. Was pivotal in some fantastic racing for Plymouth in the Championship. Did really well in the reverse fixture at Perry Bar last week as well, and he's just hit a little bit of form at the moment. So I'm going to go with Joe Thompson tonight.
I argue with that. To be fair, he's since he's got this new engine, he's been going really, really well. To be fair, and yeah, I've gone for the alternative reserve for the man to watch tonight in Drew Kemp. I think he sort of needs to step up a little bit in this league, and tonight's a chance for him to prove what he's worth.
And for the Brummies line-up, they're led at number 1 by Vaclav Milik. Steve Worrell, the skipper, moves to number 2 for this evening. Victor Lampard comes back from injury at number 3. Arguably the rider of the season for the Brummies at number 4, Tom Brennan. Piotr Pavlichki rides at number 5. Zach Cook at number 6. And the Brummies rising star at number 7 is Leon Flint. Palmer, your man to watch for the Brummies.
Zach Cook. I do apologise because I've probably nicked yours there, but now, look, Zach's a man in form. You know, he rode well at Poole last night. He's been doing bits for Birmingham as it is, and he was a very handy reserve to have. What about you?
I'm going to go for Piotr Pavlichki. He came in for the first meeting between these two sides, having not really ridden over here for the best part of 10 years. He looked quick, he just wasn't particularly gating, but obviously, as we know, British tracks do take a little bit of time to get used to. I don't think he's ever raced at Leicester before. I think he missed Leicester when he was with Wolves back in 2014, but if anyone can adapt to the track, it's Peter, so yeah, I'm going for him tonight.
Yeah, so very, very interesting choices. The Lions lead on aggregate 43 points to 29 as it stands. So the Lions holding a bit of an advantage, and obviously they're number 1. Max Frick starting the season not in the best of forms, but he's started to pick some form up now, and I believe he got a 15-point maximum last week against Bellevue.
Yeah, Max has started to pick it up a little bit now. A little bit of a slow start to the season, but he's started to find a bit of form now, and that maximum last week will really help him, I think, for tonight as well.
The 3 people watching at the current point of time, please don't be afraid to get in the comments in the YouTube chat. We will be regularly checking them, and if you've got any shout-outs, we'll give you a shout-out. Got any questions? We'll answer your questions. So get you sent in the comments, and you can talk to us, lovely, lovely people. So moving on from the Lions, obviously, Dole, you'll know a bit more because you're like one of the big guns at Birmingham.
I wouldn't say that.
What is the sort of the team feeling in the pits, like the team spirit?
They've worked really hard over the start of the season to build up that team bond. Obviously, you've got riders coming in, Piotr and Vaclav, who went raced in Britain for the best part of a decade, and you got Victor coming in for his first season in British Speedway, and then it's important to get a good team spirit up. It probably has taken a little bit of a hit with the results so far this season, but before last week's meeting against Bellevue and the win at Birmingham, Leicester were one of the underperforming teams as well, so they're not quite on it yet either. So although you'd probably from the outside looking in expect Leicester to score well and win tonight quite comfortably, I think it's there's nothing to lose for Birmingham. They're underdogs in everybody's eyes.
Oh, that is very true, and I've got the league table up on my screen as it stands at the moment, and it is 5th versus 6th. Ipswich versus Sheffield tonight, rained off, so we won't be giving you updates from that meeting. Oxford in 3rd, on 7 points at the minute. They take on bottom of the pack Kingsley Stars, who have yet to score any points. The Lions themselves, though, tonight they're on 6 points in 5th position. They're basically joint with Sheffield, who's claiming 4th, and the Brummies are in 6th place. So it's going to be a very, very meeting tonight. We should be going racing shortly, I do believe.
And we have finally got a first team picture for the Brummies fans of the Brummies all together, which has taken a little bit of time to happen. Obviously injuries and stuff, but we have finally got a picture of the entire Brummies team all together.
At least you've got one.
It's always a start.
Yeah, we obviously many people know me from my times at Scunthorpe, and our press and practice there. We had your photographer, didn't we? We had Phil.
Yeah.
And none of the boys was even that bothered on doing a team picture, which isn't a great way to start your season. But yeah, here we are, and we're just literally it's 7:30, I believe now, and looks like riders are coming up then to the tapes for heat number 1, and it looks like the Brummies are going off gates 1 and 3.
So that's column B, isn't it?
Column B, if you're filling out a race night program.
So heat number 1, riding off the inside gate in yellow for the Brummies, is Stevie Worrell. Luke Becker rides off gate number 2 in blue. Vaclav Milik off gate 3 in white. And off the outside in red is Max Frick, fresh off the heels of his maximum last week.
Yeah, so good looking lineup to kickstart our meeting here at the Pidcock Motorcycles Arena in Leicester. Gate 1 usually the favourable gate in the early heats around this this circuit, but the start marshal, he walks away and the tapes have risen. It's a great start actually for Vaclav Milik. Where did he find that from off gate number 3? And he's actually he was joined by Stevie Worrell there in the second place before Max Frick dived underneath the inside of Steve Worrell. But it's Milik that leads then, about to go into lap 2, pushed all the way by Max Frick here, with unfortunately Luke Becker trailing off a little bit at the back. But this is an absolute dream start here for Vaclav Milik and the Birmingham Brummies, who are very much tipped not to be second best here this evening. We've got one lap left to go then, and Max Frick's putting Vaclav Milik under all sorts of pressure now, though. Milik leaves a bit of a gap. Can Max Frick capitalise on that? Not just yet. We've got 2 bends left to go then, and it's going to be a win for the rider in white, Vaclav Milik. Vaclav Milik taking the checkered flag there.
Very smart ride from Vaclav there. Both the Brummies actually made the gate. Max Frick smartly up the inside of Steve Worrell exiting bend 2, but Milik was gone and rode a very smart line to just keep his wheel in that dirt, on the edge of that dirt in the mid-track area, and that'll do his confidence the world of good as well.
100%, because it's safe to say Vaclav probably hasn't had the best of start to life with the Brummies.
Luke Becker seemed to just get a little bit of lift off the start there actually, and that probably paid to his race there and then. So the result of heat number 1, it was a win for the rider in white, Vaclav Milik, second in red, Max Frick, and third in yellow, Steve Worrell. 2 points to the Lions, 4 to the Brummies.
So heat number 2 coming up then, and both my riders to watch in this one coming up next to each other actually, off gates numbers 1 and 2, and your man to watch for the Lions going off of gate 3.
They seem to be cracking on with this meeting as well. Is there a fear of weather maybe at Leicester?
There is always that possibility. I mean, we are in the UK. I mean, it's really nice and sunny here where I am, based in Scunthorpe. But we know that we could just get a downpour like that. As Joe Thompson comes up to takes.
Joe Thompson rocking the nice monster sticker on his helmet there. Looks like he has been on the energy drinks a bit lately. He started a little bit poor for the season, but he's definitely upped his game, and that new engine now seems to be working wonders for him, and the confidence will come with that. So the lineup for heat number 2 off the inside gate in red is Drew Kemp, your man to watch. Gate number 2 for the Lions. Gate number 2 in white is Zach Cook. Gate 3 in blue is Joe Thompson, and off the outside in yellow, Leon Flint.
Leon Flint's the man that needs a good night.
Leon's very much a confidence rider as well. If he has a very good first race, he can build on that throughout the meeting, and he'll generally perform really well. If he has a tough first race, he can tend to let his head drop a little bit.
100%. And Start Marshall walks away. He looks like he's had a burger or two. The tapes has risen, and that is a decent start for the man in red, that Drew Kemp. Joe Thompson at the back, but Drew Kemp's been lifted, and can Zach Cook find a way up the inside thereof? Drew Kemp, not quite, but it's Drew Kemp then that still has the lead, followed by Zach Cook in the second position. Leon Flint now being put under some pressure by Joe Thompson towards the rear of the field, but Drew Kemp made an absolute dream start. I'd like to see that one again, actually, as smoke comes out the back of Drew Kemp's. But going into the next lap, Drew Kemp then, he still has the lead, showing the Drew Kemp of old that we knew. And the guy in second, that is Zach Cook of the Birmingham Brummies. One lap left to go then, and at the moment it is currently still a 3-3, but Joe Thompson's putting Leon Flint under all sorts of pressure now. Can Leon Flint just hold Joe Thompson off to get this 3-3 for the Brummies? But it's going to be a win for the rider in red, Drew Kemp.
And Joe put on a charge late on there, smart last bend from Leon to just chop off Joe's nose and share the heat. All done from the start there from Drew's. Bike was smoking actually from the tapes.
That was a perfect start that from Drew.
And I think I read somewhere the other day that he's blown up something like 5 engines so far this season, so he's not had the luck mechanically. So it's good to see him getting some points on the board early on. And it was a win for the rider in red, Drew Kemp. Second in white was Zach Cook, and third in yellow, Leon Flint. That puts the progressive scores 5 to the Lions, 7 to the Brummies.
Got 3 viewers watching us now. Please join in the chat, and we'll talk to you while we're watching the racing. Don't be afraid to join us.
Sam
on
Masters
the
in red
YouTube
here.
chat.
A rider that's not used to being out of the number 1 position. He spent the last 2 or 3 years at Wolves in the number 1 spot. Really solidified himself, but a difficult year last year makes him a middle order rider for the Leicester Lions. And if he can find that form that he's shown before, he especially around this track, he can fly around here on his day.
Do you feel as though Sam Masters starting the season this year not as a number 1 is gonna boost his confidence and give him a bit more hunger to get that number 1 position back?
Yeah, definitely. Heat 3 riding in white for his first ever trip to Leicester is Victor Lampart off the inside gate in white. Gate 2 in blue, Richard Lawson. Gate 3 in yellow, Tom Brennan. And off the outside in red, that man we just spoke about, Sam Masters.
Very interesting looking heat number 3 here. I'm very interested to see how Victor Lampart goes around the Pidcock Motorcycles Arena, because yeah, I can't see this being a track that will suit his style, but I'm all ready to be proven wrong.
And Tom Brennan will be looking to carry on his fine form. We did a little practice watch along of Poole last night, and he was flying for Poole as well, and he's done well for Birmingham so far this season. He'll be looking to continue that here tonight.
Yeah, as you said, Tom's arguably been the rider of the season for the Brummies this year so far. But the start marshal then, he raises his arms, he looks up at the referee, whoever that is tonight. Look down at the tapes and it's a pretty even start actually, but it is Richard Lawson, the rider in blue there, that has a good lead now. Can Victor Lampard and both the Brummies get around Richard Lawson as Sam Masters went around the outside to take the lead? So it is currently Sam Masters and that has the lead. In the second position in white, that is in yellow, sorry, that is Tom Brennan being chased all the way down by Richard Lawson in the blue helmet colour. As pretty much expected for his first ride around this track, Victor Lampard struggling a little bit, as most riders do on their first visit to this circuit. But Sam Masters showing the Leicester faithful why he was signed by the Leicestershire-based club. And Richard Lawson's putting a charge now on Tom Brennan. It's going to be a big battle there for second position, but it's Sam Masters. He's away and gone. He's got this race won in the bag. It's going to be a big battle for second, but Tom Brennan just gets it.
And the interesting thing about Speedway there, Richard Lawson and Tom Brennan teammates last night, opposition tonight.
Only in Speedway.
And again, that was all done from the start. Both the Lions made a really good start. I thought Tom Brennan was going into the back of Richard Lawson on that first bend. Richard almost got stuck in no man's land, and Tom found a bit of grip round the outside.
And that, I do believe, makes the scores 9 apiece.
Heat number 3, it was a win for the rider in red, Sam Masters. Second in yellow, Tom Brennan. And third in blue, Richard Lawson. And as you say, 9 apiece, scores on the doors. Phil McGlynn having a nice stroll across the centre green there.
Well, Phil. And that makes the overall progressive scores for the aggregate. Leicester Lions 52, Birmingham Brummies 38.
Man in white here coming out of the pits now, Peter Pawlicki. First ever visit, I believe, to Leicester, so that'll be interesting to see how he takes to the track.
Pawlicki, he rode for the Wolverhampton Wolves, didn't he? Is it 2014?
Yeah, the meeting that Wolves did at Leicester that year, Peter was needed in Poland. Chris Harris guested for him on that occasion.
Ruining Wolves Speedway again.
Man that we both know very well off the outside gate in Red here, Ryan Douglas, raced the reverse fixture at Perry Bar last week at number 2, moves back to the number 5 spot tonight. In fine form as well at Bellevue the other night, guesting for Ipswich.
And just a quick one, if anybody's interested in National League racing, Sheffield Scunthorpe 3, Middlesbrough 3, after one heat.
Looks like there's been a reserve switch in yellow here. That looks like Zach Cook.
It says it is, sir.
Heat number 4 in yellow off gate number 1, reserve switch. Zach Cook replaces Leon Flint. Gate number 2 in blue is Joe Thompson. Gate 3 in white is Piotr Pawlicki. And off the outside in red, flying Ryan Douglas.
Yeah, just getting the riders into position. Ryan Douglas going to be a big man to watch here, and so is Piotr Pawlicki. Actually, he didn't have the best of starts at Birmingham last week, but this could only get better for the Polish signing for the Perry Bar circuit. And the tapes of Dougie having a little bit of Dougie having a little bit of a nibble there.
I think the tapes just didn't bother going up. Dougie was rolling, Peter was trying to stay still with Dougie rolling. I just think that's a tapes malfunction there.
Yeah, 100%. Because it looked like the green light was on.
Oh, Dougie's touched them. If that's not a tapes malfunction, Ryan Douglas is in trouble here.
You'd expect so. I'm going to try and see if I can find out who the referee is.
I think it's on the spreadsheet. I think it's Mick Bates. It is Mick Bates.
It's Mick Bates. If I speak, I get into trouble, so I won't comment.
And has Dougie been disqualified here, or is that an unsatisfactory start on all four? I don't think anybody knows, and that's the disadvantage. Well, Dougie's walking back into the pits. I think the referee's disqualified Ryan Douglas.
The legend David I was pushing his bikes back in there, so I'd be very surprised to see Dougie come out for the restaging here. It looks like we're going 3 riders only then for heat number 4.
Well, Drew Kemp could come in to replace Dougie, couldn't he?
It could. But either way, the Brummies have to capitalise on the Lions having no heat leader in this one.
We can't even blame the referee for that, because I think they're on automated starts this year, aren't they? So it's just rise when they rise.
Yeah. That's if they work. I know that they're not. They don't work at a couple of tracks, so they all go on the referee's push the button.
Well, there's no rider in red yet.
Nothing yet. Not bad sized crowding, to be fair, at the Beaumont Park circuit.
It does look a very good crowd.
With it been a relatively local derby as well, you'd probably expect a few Brummies fans to make the trip.
Yeah, for sure. Drew Kemp, I think, is out in red. Yep, Drew Kemp replaces Ryan Douglas
Drew Kemp in red.
So Peter Pawlicki should be the favourite for this now, but Drew Kemp was very quick in heat number 2, and it is essentially a rerun of that, but just swap out Leon Flint for Piotr Pawlicki.
No big swap, is it? Just a reserve for arguably your second best rider in your averages, is it? Oh, joint top really. They're both on 7.5 averages, aren't they?
Yeah, and Drew will be full of confidence after that heat number 2 win as well, with ease.
100%. Start Marshall walks away, and with the tapes rise, and Drew Kemp has made an absolute beauty of a start there. And it is Zach Cook that's putting Drew Kemp under some pressure now, with Piotr Pawlicki in the 3rd place. Joe Thompson struggling a little bit at the back to keep up to grips with the rider in yellow, Zach Cook. But Drew Kemp, I don't know what he's done to his engines or if Stuart Dixon said anything to him, but this is a completely different Drew Kemp to what the Lions have been seeing so far this year. Piotr Pawlicki looking pretty stylish there in the 2nd position. He's getting himself all dialed into the track to make some big points later on in the evening. But Drew Kemp still flying out in front of them with 1 lap left to go. It's pretty even now, but Drew Kemp has the lead. Still being chased all the way by Piotr Pawlicki in the 2nd position. I think the Brummies will be happy with to keep this as a 3-3. Drew Kemp, that takes a win.
That almost feels like an opportunity missed for Birmingham there, though. Drew just made a blinder of a start and Peter made a bad start. Zach did well to get out of Peter's way on bend 4, lap 1, to give the pole 3 laps to try and chase down Drew Kemp. But as you say, he's probably just trying to dial in a little bit and get himself comfortable. And I'm sure the bigger points will come from Peter Pawlicki later in the meeting. But you've still got to say that's an opportunity missed for Birmingham there. Heat number 4.
Yeah, 100%.
It was a win for the rider in red, Drew Kemp. 2nd in white was Piotr Pawlicki, and 3rd in yellow, Zach Cook keeps the scores tied at 12 apiece. As we go into our first track grade, I think. Although there is no tractors out at the moment.
No.
We're just seeing highlights from last week's meeting now.
That tends to mean a track grade up at Leicester. I'll have a quick look at the updates to see what I can find.
Shall we run through the individual scorers on the doors in a moment from our spreadsheet?
I reckon that could be a good idea.
I'll whack it on the screen now.
What a man.
We are on the screen with the scores on the spreadsheet.
So the progressive scores then, as it stands at the moment. Max Frick on 2 points. Luke Becker 0 points. Sam Masters 3 points. Richard Lawson 1 point. Ryan Douglas non-starter. Drew Kemp 6 points. Joe Thompson 0. For the Birmingham Brummies, Vaclav Milik 3 points. Stevie Worrell 1 point. Lampard 0 points. Tom Brennan 2 points. Tripoliki 2 points. Zach Cook 3 paid 4. And Leon Flint 1 paid 2. After 4 heats so far.
It's been a decent meeting so far.
It has.
Alan McNally's posted in the chat. Good luck, chaps. Hope the Speedway's a cracker for you. Yeah, Alan not available tonight for this one.
If you're into the National Development League, Scunthorpe Sheffield 6, Middlesbrough 6.
And we just have to give a special thanks for that spreadsheet to Paul Wheeler, who rustled that up yesterday morning in about an hour. Absolutely spot on. Looks fantastic. And yeah, massive thanks to Paul for doing that.
Does massive shout out to Paul. He's an absolute great guy actually as well, so no, can't fault him at all. Are you sitting down?
I am sitting down. Don't tell me Kings Lynn are winning.
Kings Lynn are winning.
I'm about to be standing up. I'll be back in a second.
No problem, sir. So, 2 heats gone at Oxford. You see Oxford Spires 5, Kings Lynn 7. So, our pictures at the moment is just highlights from last week's meeting where the Leicester Lions took on the Bellevue Aces. Bellevue Aces not in action this evening. The only team that wasn't scheduled to be in action, obviously, Ipswich versus Sheffield called off about an hour before the meeting was due to start.
What have you made of the track so far?
It's been all right. I'm not saying it's been the best track in the world, but it's a lot better than what it used to be. Because obviously, I used to go quite a bit when the Lions were in the Championship, and the track wasn't necessarily the greatest. So now, fair play to the track people at Leicester. They've made a decent racetrack. As another update from Kings Lynn. Let's have a look. There is another update from Kings Lynn. And the Oxford Spires are on 9 points. And so are the Kings Lynn Stars. And by the looks of things...
And we're at tapes for heat number 5 now.
So we are.
Don't think there was any track grading, although obviously we can't see because of the the highlights. Now the track don't look like it's really been touched.
Maybe that's not necessarily a bad thing, that.
And again, obviously for copyright reasons, we can't show the racing on here. But if you do want to catch up with the meeting, it's available to purchase from Leicester's website, leicesterlions.tv for $12.99.
Absolute bargain for Thursday night entertainment, that. You can't get a Chinese takeaway for that price.
And trust me, we've tried.
Yes, we have.
The lineup for heat number 5, going off the inside gate in red, is Sam Masters. Gate 2 in yellow, Steve Worrell. Gate 3 in blue is Richard Lawson, and off the outside in white, Vaclav Milik.
So start marshal walks away. Tapes have risen, and it's a good start there for the rider in the red helmet colour off gate 1, Sam Masters, but the race has been stopped.
We couldn't see who jumped or what happened there because we were on the head-on camera. That's the one problem with head-on cameras, and they're showing a replay on the head-on camera, which we're still not going to see. Everyone's gone back to the pits because they've gone really far around the track and they need to sort their bikes out. Peter Pavlicki standing talking to Vaclav Milik. Stuart Dixon talking to Sam Masters.
Yeah, that was an interesting one. I don't think, from what we could see anyway, I didn't see a great deal of movement there.
It's still difficult with that head-on camera though as well, innit? It's difficult to see what happened. Sam Ermolenko's holding his arms out, so he's not happy at something.
Did somebody tell him the clutch cooler's not cooling someone's clutch? Yeah, no, it'd be interesting to see some form of
replay from the above angle.
Yes, that's what we need. But we can't be too picky.
Richard Lawson doing some gardening again. Vaclav Milik just pulling up to gate number 4 and off to do some gardening of his own.
Oh, well, we've got 20 seconds. Let's just have a quick look at the Oxford versus Kings Lynn score. 11 to Oxford, 13 to Kings Lynn.
All 4 riders are back for the restart, so I can only assume it was an unsatisfactory start, but we don't quite know what happened.
No. But,
and the tapes on the outside
up on the outside. Let's make Leicester's McDonald's representative go and pull them down again.
Oh, I do love going to Leicester with how close Mackey's is to the track. Pull out the stadium over the road, you've got McDonald's, beautiful after a night at the Speedway.
No, I've never been to that Mackey's. We tend to go to the chip shop that's just like in that complex.
Vaclav Milik turning around, is he clearing his goggles or what's going on here? Vaclav Milik's going back to the pits.
Yeah, interesting to see what's happening here. I think
the riders have
there's
been sent
more.
Back.
Is the problems with the tapes?
Milik's gone back into the pitch. You're not supposed to do that now, are you?
I know you couldn't a couple of years ago. I don't know if that rule's been taken away or not.
This is strange. And obviously we can't hear what the commentators at the track are saying because we have to have it on mute. So we're just sort of guessing what's going on.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I was going to say, I didn't see anything wrong with... I didn't see anything wrong with that start from the angles that we had, so... Yeah, interesting one.
Tom Brennan coming out to Steve Worrell. Milik's disappeared. Will we get a reserve switch in here or what's going on? No, I don't think anybody knows what's actually happening.
Again, we just want to give a shout out to Andy Dugmore and Andy Dugmore Drum Tuition, who has very, very kindly sponsored the stream for this evening? Yeah, so we're just waiting to find out something of what's going on. Riders are out there kicking the track.
Tom Brennan, he does that a lot, doesn't he?
He does actually. We saw it a bit last night at Poole
He
in that
almost
meeting
makes it
we
his
walked.
mission, doesn't he, to keep an eye on the evolution of the track.
Yeah,
I can only assume Vaclav Milik's been disqualified for something here because he's not out there.
it's odd really, isn't it? But
Stuart Dixon with a nice warm cup of tea. Can't say
it
I
looks a
blame him.
bit it looks a bit chilly in Leicester, doesn't it? So
Does. Well, the riders are pushing off now. So is Steve Worrell going to have to go this on his own? I can't think why Milik would have been disqualified. This is strange.
it is, isn't it? But that I know is a yellow helmet.
Steve Worrell's number 2 looking more like a Z on his bike. We've got 3 riders at the tapes. Is Milik going off 15
Yeah.
metres? I can see a line drawn across the gate 4 position there, about 15 metres back. So did he move?
That looks right, doesn't it? I don't think he did.
It certainly wasn't enough for him to touch the tapes from this angle, surely. But he's off 15
he's
metres.
going back 15 metres.
There have been some questionable refereeing decisions so far this season, and could this be another one of those? And you refuse to make comment on Mick Bates at the start.
I shouldn't really be commenting on any form of referee, to be honest. I don't really think they like me that much. But yeah, there has been some very questionable refereeing. I mean, we saw one right at the start of the year, actually, at this track. But anyway, heat number 5 then. Start Marshall walks away. The tapes has risen, and it's been a great start there for the rider in red, Sam Masters, joined by Richard Lawson in blue. Carroll, Steve Waldo, anything to get up the inside. No, he can't. So it's the Lions currently on a 5-1, but Worrell looking to go up the inside there of Sam Masters. He's not quite there yet, and Vaclav Milik picking up a little bit of pace of the back after going 15 metres. But it is currently Richard Lawson that has the lead, followed by his partner Sam Masters, and these two look very, very fast out in front. I guess that's why it's called Speedway. They wouldn't be going slow, would they? But as we go into the next lap, it's still Richard Lawson that has the lead, and it's still Sam Masters sitting there in second. And barring any mechanical failure at this point, it's going to be a 5-1 to the Lions with one more lap left to go. An unfortunate race for the Brummies there. You was kind of hoping that Vaclav would have gated like he did in heat number 1, but tapes issues, I believe, was to be at fault there, but it's going to be a win for Richard Lawson.
Milik went absolutely nowhere from 15 metres back. He looked like he bogged down. His wheel came up and then back down, and he just didn't move. Steve Worrell got tailed off a bit there in 3rd place as well, and Milik was catching him. Yeah, a little bit disappointed with Steve Worrell so far tonight. And if you watch Milik here, he just doesn't move.
No, he didn't.
And Steve Worrell, someone who's notorious for being a quick gaiter, he didn't really go anywhere either.
Just not gating tonight, is he?
Hit number 5, it was a win for the rider in blue, Richard Lawson. 2nd in red, his teammate Sam Masters, and 3rd in yellow, Steve Worrell. 5-1 to the Lions opens up a 4-point lead for the home side. And that looks like a reserve switch coming in this one as well. That looks like Leon Flint in yellow.
Your aggregate score, is 60 points to 42.
Luke Becker will be looking to bounce back from a difficult Heat 1. Didn't really make the start and went nowhere really. He goes off gate 4 this time. That is Leon Flint in yellow as a reserve switch for Zach Cook. So the lineup for Heat number 6, going off the inside gate in white, Piotr Pavlichki. Gate number 2 in red is Max Frick. Gate 3 in yellow, the reserve change, Leon Flint. And off the outside in blue, Luke Becker.
So, start Marshall just bringing the riders then into the tapes. I believe we're going to have a good battle here between Max Frick and Piotr Poliki. And yeah, Leon Flint needs to capitalise on gaining that third place as well in heat number 2, and hopefully he could get a few more points on the board as well.
Riders
So
taking
Piotr
their
Poliki
times a
just...
little bit at the start again tonight.
Yeah. Do you reckon that's a nervy thing or mind games or?
No idea. It seems to be a regular thing now, but at least they have to be at the tapes and ready to go on the 2 minutes, not just on the track like previous years. So that hopefully cuts out a little bit of the messing around.
Yeah, for sure. Anyway, the start marshal walks away then, and the tapes rise. It's a pretty even start as they go into the first bend, and Max Fricker's got himself out to the front. Where on earth is Luke Becker going? He's going right round to the front. He's gone round the outside of the lot, and it's the Lions. Whoa! Frick lifted there, but just about manages to avoid his teammate. It's now Frick that's out in the lead, and Becker looks like he's struggling going around bends 1 and 2 here. Oh, it's the Lions currently on a 5-1, even though Becker's just produced a ride of the night to go around all of them. But yeah, as we go into the third lap then, Paul Licky and Flint not really looking like they're going to be catching any blows on the Leicester Lions in this one. But Frick looking like a true professional number 1 around this circuit. We've got one more lap of this 300 and odd metre circuit left to go, and barring any mechanical failures, Max Frick is going to take the race win. Just like that, he does.
And it's all gone a little bit to pot for Birmingham in the last 2 races. The exclusion, 15 metres for Milik in the last one, and Pavlichki must have left his gating gloves in Poland. He's just not moving off the starts at the moment. He's got speed when he's off the start. It's just getting out of the start.
There wasn't anything really necessarily wrong with that start either, was there?
Now this will be concerning times for the Brummies, and it was a win for the rider in red, Max Frick. Second in blue, Luke Becker, and third in white, Peter Pavlichki. Leon Flint out the back. That opens up a 8-point lead for the Lions now with 22 points to 14.
So if you're Sam Ermolenko or Chris Adams, whichever one makes the decision, are you looking at maybe putting a tactical in here for Lampard, or do you wait till Heat 9?
Well, Lampard's there in white, so we're getting no tactical in this one. Drew Kemp coming up to gate 3, unbeaten so far from his 2 rides, including a very impressive win in heat number 4. Victor Lampard.
Somebody on.
So carry on.
No, it's alright. I was just going to say something about Drew.
Victor Lampard coming out for his second ride of the night and his second ever race at Leicester. Hopefully that first one would have helped him figure out the line and where to be. Off gate 2 this time, and Tom Brennan off the outside.
But someone on Twitter, now X, once said Drew Kemp's a flyer.
From the back or coming by, yeah?
That's the one.
Ryan Douglas coming out for technically his first race of the night after touching the tapes in heat number 4. Yeah,
that's definitely disappointing by Ryan standards, but he's going to be looking to put that right in this one.
Good battle of the up and coming Brits on the outside as well, with Drew Kemp off 3 and Tom Brennan off 4 in this one.
Yeah, 100%. It's going to be a good. In theory, it should be a good race. Oh, Start Marshall walks away. Then the riders look at the magnets, and away they go. And it's a great start there for Victor Lampard. Where did he find that from? And now the Lions boys looking to come up the inside there of Victor Lampard, but Lampard holds the lead now. Drew Kemp's in second. And where on earth is Tom Brennan going? He's down. That was a nasty one, that.
And I don't think he's going to get up to clear the track either. No, I think the red flags are out.
Red flags are out, and good to see Tom Brennan now back up and on his feet.
Uncharacteristic mistake there from Tom. Just went a bit too wide, and it was probably a little bit too grippy out there. Flung him straight off the back. Brummies will be a bit disappointed with that, because Victor had made a brilliant start there.
Yeah, that was a great start from Victor Lampard there, and that was quite spectacular, that wasn't it? Good to see Tom back on his bike and dipping back to the pits. A quick update from Oxford. Oxford Spires 14 points to Kings Lynn Stars 16 points. The Stars having a shining night down in Oxfordshire. For any National Development League gurus, Sheffield Scunthorpe 19, Middlesbrough 23. With 2 of the Scunthorpe Sheffield riders currently unbeaten.
Might that be Jack Smith and Luke Harrison by any chance?
Jack Smith and Ace Piper, mate.
Ooh,
Luke
close.
Harrison's only scored 1 point. He only scored 1 point from 2 rides, Luke. Andy, if you're listening to this, I'd be cashing in on that 80 quid mechanicking fee now.
We do have a vested interest in that meeting, because D&D Media sponsored rider Simon Lambert is managing the Scunny and Sheffield team.
Yes, he is. Well, currently they're 4 points down, so some may argue a better job could be done, but it's his first meeting as manager, and I'm sure we'll be getting some tips off David Howe on Saturday at Berwick. Talking of David Howe, there he is on our little telly box, chatting away with Ryan Douglas and Drew Kemp, both Knockout Cup winners last year in the Championship.
And this is a chance for Dougie to make a better gate, because he completely missed it there. Victor out-trapped him and was clear over him going into Ben 1.
It was 100%.
Just seems to be a case of what can go wrong is going wrong for Birmingham again tonight. It's that all too familiar story.
It seems to be at the minute the story of the season, doesn't it? For Birmingham.
And it does seem to be getting a little bit more darker there. I know that the light's fading. Let's just hope that it is that and not a big black cloud that looks like behind those trees.
Maybe that's why there was trying to get this meeting rushed through earlier.
Victor Lampard,
I think it's just
carry on.
I think it's just turning dark there, innit?
Yeah, possibly. Victor Lampard will be open to make a start like that again.
Oh, it was an absolute blinder, wasn't it?
Whatever John and Big Boy on the spanners for Victor were doing in the pits after that first race to the start of this one, the original running at least worked, and they'll be hoping that it does it again.
Yeah, 100%. And Drew Kemp will be feeling fortunate to have a second chance at keeping his unbeaten run going.
The lineup again of heat number 7, Ryan Douglas goes off the inside gate in red, Victor Lampard gate 2 in white, Andrew Kemp off gate 3 in blue. Tom Brennan disqualified as the cause of the stoppage.
Yeah, probably the sensible decision there. To be fair, we've got 3 people watching our stream now. Good evening to all 3 of you watching at the moment. Please invite your friends to come and watch this meeting along with us. You know, buy the stream from Leicester Lions TV, watch it on mute, and have our deluctant tones fill your televisions for the evening. Dougie just getting prepped and ready for heat number 7. Start Marshall now walks away, then the green light goes on and the tapes has risen. Victor Lampard has done it again. What a start from the young Polish rider there. Drew Kemp going pretty wide now. Can he make any amends on Victor Lampard? No, he can't, as Dougie's there now in the second position, so it looks like it's going to be a 3-3. But these boys aren't going to give up till the checkered flag. But Victor Lampard just holding the right decisive line now. He's just getting his back wheel out in the dirt. Dougie's going to try the inside run here on Victor Lampard, but it's not quite working at the moment. Lampard just racing the perfect race. He's just getting himself just in the dirt. And Dougie's itching ever so close. And now Dougie going wider on Victor Lampard. But Lampard's got the speed. Can he hold on for this first place? Dougie Lowe looking to bang. He lifts a little bit on the home straight as we go into the final lap then. And it is Victor Lampard, whose gating tonight has been phenomenal after his first ride. Going to take his first race win of the afternoon here at Leicester Speedway. And he does just that.
John and Big Boy there earning their money on that one. Whatever they've changed in the pits worked. He looked like he had some speed and very sensible race to hold off Dougie, who's done a lot of laps around this track as well. And Victor will be buzzing with that. He's very much like Leon in that regard. He's a confidence rider, and he'd have been a bit frustrated after the first run in getting stopped, but he nailed the start again.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, he's done really well, that one.
So heat number 7, it was a win for the rider in white, Victor Lampard. Second in red, Ryan Douglas, and Drew Kemp drops his first points of the night in third. 25-17 there, the progressive score. And it's definitely going cloudier there.
The aggregate score being 68-46.
So we'll just have a quick run through the 2 team scorers after 2 heats apiece.
Yeah, I'll let you read them out, Dill, because you're better at adding up than I am.
So for the Lions, Max Frick is on 5 from 2 rides. Luke Beck had 2 and a bonus from 2 rides. Sam Masters unbeaten from 2 rides at the moment on 5 paid 6. Richard Lawson 4 points. Ryan Douglas 2 points from 1 ride. Drew Kemp 7 and 1 from 3. And Joe Thompson has failed to score from 2. Curse of the commentator for Joe Thompson, I think. And for the Brummies, Vaclav Milik, very impressive heat number 1. Not quite so good last time out, is on 3 points. Steve Worrell 2. Victor Lampard, very impressive win there in heat number 7, is on 3 points. Tom Brennan 2. Peter Pavliczki 3. Zach Cook 3+1, and Leon Flynn 1+1.
So we're at the same sort of time in the meeting at Oxford, and yeah, the Oxford Spires 19, Kings Lynn Stars 23. Magic Janoski, the number 1 there, obviously at Oxford, not having the best of nights. He's on 2 points from 2 rides. Charles Wright struggling as well, and Ashton Bowden struggling a bit in the Rising Star position at Oxford. Ben Cook's putting in a solid shift though for the Stars, as is Tobias Musliak and Niels Christian Everson. So, interesting meeting going on there at Oxford. Whereas at Sheffield, it is Sheffield Scunthorpe 24, Middlesbrough 24. And our D&D Media sponsored team manager of Scunthorpe Sheffield managed to get a 5-1 in the D&D Media supported race on Speedway updates.
What a guy. With most of these being ex-Wolves riders, should we just chuck them all on the little training track in the centre green and watch them go around that? They'd all be brilliant around there.
Yes. Yeah, no, it's been quite a decent meeting actually, to be fair, tonight. Sort of. I mean, like for yourself being associated with Brum, it's probably not been as good as a watch as it has been for your neutral supporter this evening. But we're about halfway through now, and yeah, it's shaping up to be a very interesting second half to the event.
Just updating the gate stats on our little spreadsheet.
Again, we want to thank Andy Dugmore Drum Tuition for sponsoring our stream tonight. Music instrument tuition based in Birmingham with instruments such as drums, guitar, bass, ukulele, music theory, band and performance coaching. For more information, go to andydugmore.net or search on social media Andy Dugmore Drum Tuition. If the spreadsheet does go up on the YouTube screen, and you notice the Simon Lambert, Leo Dugmore, Kent Kings, Birmingham Supporters Club, Jake Allen, Brian Ingram, and Scunthorpe logos on there. We're happy to be supporting them guys this season. They're doing, whether it be proper sponsorship like it is with Simon Lambert and Ryan, or whether it's just doing graphics like Dylan does graphics for Birmingham Speedway Supporters Club, amongst other things.
Gate stats so far make interesting reading. Gate 1 has scored 10 points, Gate 2 has scored 10 points, Gate 3 has scored 11 points, and Gate 4 has scored 11 points.
Really, there's no actual like favoured gates, and it's all pretty even at the moment.
It's spot on, perfectly even. It's hard to see where Birmingham could potentially put a tactical substitute in. Zach Cook's been going really well, so I wouldn't put a tactical in against the unbeaten Sam Masters in heat number 9. Heat 10, Max Frick and Luke Becker got a 5-1 last time out. Victor Lampard was on it, and Tom Brennan's been solid enough. Potentially heat number 11, if they're still behind by tactical territory, you could possibly put Pavlicki in with Milik against Douglas and Kemp to replace Worrell, depending on how Steve does in heat 8.
Yeah, looking at the scorecard, I would say heat 11's probably your earliest opportunity. Realistically,
the riders are now coming up to tapes for heat number 8.
Yeah, heat number 8 coming to tapes then, and will be underway very shortly.
The lineup of heat number 8, it's the 2 number 2s and the 2 rising stars. Off the inside gate in blue, yet to score tonight, Joe Thompson. Gate number 2 in yellow, Leon Flint. Gate 3 in red is Luke Becker. And off the outside in white, the skipper of the Brummies, Steve Worrell. Worrell moved back to a position he's probably more familiar with, having raced for the last 2 seasons at Wolves at number 2. Started the season really well at Oxford, but perhaps not quite replicated that yet. So hopefully a spell at number 2 can give him some confidence back. Although it is widely disputed that number 2's the hardest position in the team to ride at.
It is, and obviously he's riding with Glasgow this year as well. Do you reckon that's put a lot of extra pressure on him?
Potentially, but I wouldn't say Glasgow put any more pressure on than Poole. You know, he's both very successful clubs in their own right.
100%. The tapes has risen, and it's been actually a great start for both the Brummies boys there, as they're currently leading this one on a 5-1 with the rider in white, Stevie Worrell. They're checking on Leon Flint in second. Leon's riding a really good race at the moment to keep Luke Becker behind him. Joe Thompson again struggling at the back. Maybe that brand new engine isn't quite working for Joe at this meeting here tonight. But it's Steve Worrell that's building up a bit of a lead as the rider in red, Luke Becker, is putting Leon Flint under all sorts of pressure. Now can Becker about to go up the inside of Flint, but Flint holds him off brilliantly coming down the back straight there. Now Becker tries to go round the outside. These three actually used to be teammates last year at Wolverhampton. And it is Stevie Worrell that's still got a massive lead now. And it's been a good ride here from Leon Flint in the second position to hold off Luke Becker. And we've got... Oh, that was the last lap.
That was a very smart ride from Leon. He was riding mid-track and saw Becker getting on the inside and getting some speed down the back straight of the third lap, chopped his nose off and went a bit tighter. Luke had to go wide and avoid Leon and lost a bit of ground, and that was that. But this was all done from the tapes again, pretty much.
It was done from the tapes, but that was arguably one of the races of the night so far.
And that'll do Steve and Leon's confidence the world of good there.
4 points in it now.
And the result of heat number 8, it was a win for the rider in white, Steve Worrell. Second in yellow, his partner Leon Flint. And third in red, Luke Becker. Scores now Leicester 26, Birmingham 22, as we move on to heat number 9.
The current aggregate score is the Leicester Lions 69, Birmingham Brummies 51. So, unlikely, but the aggregate bonus point isn't out of reach for the Brummies.
No, and gates 2 and 4 worked for Birmingham in the last race, and they're on 2 and 4 again here with Peter Pawlicki off 2 and Zach Cook off 4. They'll be open. I reckon if Peter can get some fresh air, he can really kick on and show his worth around here. But against the unbeaten Sam Masters, it's not going to be easy. So heat number 9, the lineup in blue, Richard Lawson off the inside. Gate number 2 in white is Peter Pawlicki. Gate 3 in red, the unbeaten Sam Masters. And off the outside in yellow, Zach Cook.
The riders just toying about, doing what they need to do at the start.
The track seems to be coming to them a little bit now as well. There was a little bit more out there for them then.
Yeah, 100%, and there's a bit more of a dirt line now out there as well.
And crucially, there's no blue groove.
Yet.
Which in the past Leicester has been known for. So credit to the track staff and everyone who've made the track as racy as it is over the last couple of seasons.
And if they could give their Shale contact number to Rob Godfrey, that would be greatly appreciated. Oh, numpties, did I just say that out loud? I'd have certainly taken the time to come up to the tapes for this one.
And hopefully that 5-1 will put some confidence into the Brummies now and then kick on in this second half of the meeting.
We'll soon find out as the tapes has risen then for heat number 6, and it's a great start for Piotr Pawlicki there actually. That was an amazing start, but Sam Masters just like a knife going through butter. That was a superb ride, and Paul Licky now coming back up the inside. Can he make any amends on Sam Masters? Not quite, but it is Masters then that leads the way with Richard Lawson now hot on the heels of Piotr Paulicki. It's a disappointing ride actually here for Zach Cook, who's trailing off at the back, but Masters at the moment leading by example. Paulicki though is keeping Masters honest here. One mistake from Sam Masters and Paulicki will be through. But it doesn't look like Masters is going to make much of a mistake here unless anything drastic happens. But, yeah, looking like this then as we go down the back straight for the final time in this race. Sam Masters' unbeaten run will continue. But a much improved ride there from Piotr Paulicki, and the Brummies can take some positives from that race.
Yeah, I think he just went a little bit too wide. Sam made an okay start, but was able to cut back to the inside line and get some speed down the back straight. The line's perhaps not as wide down the straight now as it was early on. Paul Wheeler's just commented, actually, what have I missed?
9 heats of action, mate.
Sam Masters a little bit twitchy at the start there. That could be why he missed it. He moved and then pulled it back in, and then the tapes went. So it could be a warning for Sam Masters there.
There's every possibility.
And the result of heat number 9, it was a win for the rider in red, continuing his unbeaten run. Sam Masters, second in white, Peter Pavlichki, and third in blue, Richard Lawson, makes the score 30 points to the Lions, 24 to the Brummies.
Big heat number 10 coming up.
Good to see Tom Brennan back up after an awkward spill in his last one. And
Yeah,
Brummies
100%.
again off probably the favoured two gates 2 and 4. Gate 2 propel Pavlichki to the first turn then.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting battle. I mean, if Victor Lampard can gate like he did in his last one, and this is going to be a great battle up front with Victor and Max.
I think it's about time Leicester turn the floodlights on.
Well, apparently Paul Keynes hasn't got 25p to put in the meter. So he's just hoping all the crowd are smokers, and they'll just put the lighters in the air so we can just about see what's going on.
Just waiting for Luke Becker to come up to the start then.
Some old guys just walk past the start line. If you want proper in-depth David Attenborough style commentary there. Luke Becker's on his way around now.
And Victor will be opening it and get off the start again like the last time. So the line of feed number 10, riding in blue off gate number 1 is Luke Becker. Gate 2 in yellow is Tom Brennan. Gate 3 in red, Max Frick. And off the outside in white is Victor Lampard.
That it is, sir.
And again, with Paul Wheeler watching, we've got to thank him for the amazing work he did on the spreadsheet. He's done for us. That's been up on the screen a couple of times.
100%. It's a quality, but it's a delight to fill in. Actually, it's almost better than a paper one. But the tapes has risen then on heat number 10. It's a great start actually for the rider in yellow, Tom Brennan. Victor Lampard coming around the outside there of the rider in blue, which is Luke Becker. But Max Frick now blasted his way around Tom Brennan. So it's Frick that has the lead then, with Tom Brennan now in the second position. Rider in blue, that's Luke Becker, forcing his way up the inside of Victor Lampard. So Lampard, unfortunately, at the back here. But Luke Becker's putting some pressure now on Tom Brennan. But Max Frick has the lead then as they go into the next lap. Tom Brennan sitting there in the second position, put under all sorts of pressure from Luke Becker in the third place in blue. Victor Lampard again at the back, unfortunately for him. But Max Frick, he's checked out and away and gone. He wants to be showing the FIM why he should be a part of the Grand Prix in the upcoming seasons. And it looks like it's going to be a win for Max Frick, and Tom Brennan just holding on for a very, very credible second place.
Victor Lampard was very, very quick going into bend 3 and 4, and he almost went too wide, locked it up too hard, and Luke Becker came up the inside, and maybe just a little bit of over trying there. And for the first time tonight,
Max, that was the most wheeliest, disappointing wheelie I've ever seen.
heat number 10, the result was a win for the rider in red, Max Frick, second in yellow, Tom Brennan, and third in blue, Luke Becker. Leicester open up an 8-point lead again now.
That makes the aggregate score 77 to Leicester, 55 to Birmingham.
And we were both saying before Heat 8 that this could potentially be the tactical one, but with how quick Steve Worrell looked in Heat 8, could that have saved him in this one?
Oh no, they won't put anybody out for Vaclav, I don't think.
Vaclav's at the line already.
But in hindsight, this would be the race to use it. I mean, no disrespect to Dougie. No tacticals being used then just yet.
And the lineup for heat number 11, going off the inside gate in white, is Vaclav Milik. Gate number 2 in red, Ryan Douglas, who by his own standards has had a pretty tough meeting so far. Gate 3 in white, yellow, Steve Worrell, and off the outside in blue, Drew Kemp.
Drew Kemp's had a really good meeting tonight.
And I think that'll do Drew the world of good to just settle down a little bit and, find some consistency and, after a bit of a troubled start with engines to have that consistency now as well. Winning races, getting the points on the board and confidence that comes with it.
100%. I mean, we're seeing a Drew Kemp tonight, what we saw at Scunthorpe last season. And yeah, it's good to see a young Brit, hitting some form. Like the same with Dan Thompson at Ipswich. He's hit some cracking form of recently.
Drew's very close to gate 3 there.
That Marshall walks away though. The tapes has risen, and it is a quality start there for Ryan Douglas. Ryan Douglas has made an absolute blinding gate, and Drew Kemp looking to come through the middle of both the Brummies boys. He's just about got past the rider in white, Vaclav Milik. He's good ever so wide there. I think he clips the fence as Milik now claims the third place, but it is Stevie Worrell in second place. Dougie's still out front. And how on earth Drew Kemp stayed on the bike there, I'll never know. But this is looking pretty settled now. Dougie's out there doing Dougie things. Gonna go down Douglas Drive in a minute, just like that. With the Brummies settling in second and third position. And Drew Kemp not having the best of races. Maybe that was a commentator's curse on Drew there, but... Ryan Douglas riding a perfect race. He even does a little wheelie as he's racing, going down the back straight, SC24 style. He looks back, he pulls another wheelie as he crosses the line in the first place position.
And Vaclav Milik's disappointing start to the season at number 1 continues. 4 points from 3 races now. 3 of them coming in heat 1 and 1 from the subsequent 2 races. Just isn't good enough from your number 1.
It's not. And, it's not like he hasn't been on these tracks before. I don't know if he's been at Leicester before. He may have been with Kings Lynn in heat number in 2015, I think it was.
And the result of heat number 11, it was a win for the rider in red, Ryan Douglas. Second in yellow, Steve Worrell, and third in white, Vaclav Milik. Drew Kemp miraculously staying on his bike somehow. I thought that was going to end in carnage.
You're not the only one, sir.
Steve Worrell's bounced back really well from a tough first race. 2 points from his first two races, and then 5 from his last two. Hopefully, that'll bring with it a bit of confidence for Steve as well. Now leading scorer for the Brummies.
Yeah, 100%. It has been a bit of a tough night all round for the Brummies. And even though like you guys are eight points down at the moment, there's still plenty of positives to take from tonight. So again, while we have got a quick moment, we want to thank Andy Dugmore and Andy Dugmore Drum Tuition for sponsoring tonight's stream. Music instrument tuition based in Birmingham with instruments such as drums, guitar, bass, ukulele, music therapy, band and performance coaching. For more information, go to www.andydugmore.net or search on social media Andy Dugmore Drum Tuition.
Interestingly, the gate stats. The gates still can't be separated. Gate 1 has now got 13 points, but Gate 3 has got 20, making 33 points from there. Gate 2 has got 19 points, and Gate 4 has got 14, which also makes 33 points from there.
It's a crazy, crazy world. Good evening to Paul Wheeler, who's commented in on the YouTube. Yeah, sorry, missed half the meeting. Not the best of nights for Millican Lampard at the moment. Again, we want to thank Paul for doing our amazing spreadsheet. It is out of this world. Clubs could really take note of a race card like that.
And talking of the spreadsheet, shall we go through the individual scorers after heat number 11?
Yeah, let's have a ganja.
You can have this one.
Thanks, mate.
No problem.
So for the Leicester Lions on 37 points so far, Max Frick has scored 8 points. Becker on 4 and a bonus. Sam Masters on a paid maximum of 8, paid 9. Richard Lawson on 5 points. A disappointing night for him so far by his standards. Ryan Douglas 5 points. Drew Kemp 7, paid 8. And Joe Thompson failed to score at the moment. For the Birmingham Brummies then, Vaclav Milik on 4 and a bonus. Steve Worrell on 7 points. Victor Lampart on 3 points. Tom Brennan on 4 points. Piotr Parlicki on 5 points. Zach Cook 3 paid 4. And Leon Flint 3 paid 5. And just like that, you can see Paul's fantastic spreadsheet up on your YouTube screen there.
Got to imagine that Leicester will put Drew Kemp in heat 12 for Joe Thompson. Just been a bit of a difficult night for Joe tonight.
Yeah, 100%. But it's just one of them nights. I'll get the updates up to see what the scores are. And well, going into heat number 14 at Sheffield, it is the Sheffield Scunthorpe side, 42 points, with Jack Smith and Ace Piper still unbeaten by an opponents. Still Middlesbrough Tigers 36. And at Oxford, the Oxford Spires take on the Kings Lynn Stars in Premiership action. The Oxford Spires are now on 31 points to the Kings Lynn Stars 29. And Scott Nichols, a regular guest for the Birmingham Brummies, after his first ride has gone 3 rides unbeaten. Interesting to see Chris Harris having a little bit of an off night.
How's Matt Say getting on?
He is on 4, paid 5 from 3.
Looking at highlights again at the moment from Leicester v Bellevue from last week.
Looking slightly ahead, I know you guys at Birmingham, you host the first televised meeting of the season. What are your thoughts going into that meeting?
Yeah, it's going to be difficult. Obviously we've got Bellevue, Brady Kurtz, Dan Bewley both flying high at the moment. Someone you know very well, Connor Mountain, also having a fantastic season as well at reserve for Bellevue. So they're not going to be easy. It's a track that Jamon Lidsey, Norrit Bladorn won't have seen before. So it'll be interesting to see how they adapt to it. For the first time for a while, the weather forecast doesn't look too bad. So hopefully the track will be set up racing rather than packed in to take some rain, and the boys can get on it and yeah, hopefully get a win on the board. The first home win, because after the meeting against Sheffield with the draw, it's not been fantastic at Perry Bar for the Brummies.
No, and you do sort of have to kind of feel that changes could be on the way at Perry Bar.
Potentially, it's also about finding the riders to come in. It's got to be a change worth making and a sensible one. And if there's nobody better out there that can add something to the team, then not to make changes for the sake of it. I've personally been a bit disappointed with Vaclav Milik so far, in particular. Victor Lampart's a little bit inconsistent as well, but obviously they've not raced over here for a long time, and never in Victor's case. But he's showing he can go out and win races. He's just it's either win or last. There's no real in between.
Yeah, 100%. And yeah, it's one of them, but. Yeah, we'll be rooting for the Brummies on Monday night. That's live on Eurosport and Discovery Plus. Also on Eurosport and Discovery Plus this weekend, the first round of the Speedway Grand Prix for 2024. Will Bartosz retain his title? Will a new name get their name on the trophy?
And just flashed up on the screen tonight's watch along sponsor. So it's another chance to thank Andy Dugmore Drum Tuition for sponsoring tonight's watch along. And Andy actually approached us to do that, so that's pretty cool that he sees something in what we're doing, and hopefully he's getting his worth out of it.
Yeah, 100%. Massive shout out to Andy. Now you know him as you know him a lot better than what I do. He's an absolute great guy, and now he wants us to succeed, and we hope we're doing him proud this evening.
And we've got some tractor racing at the moment at Leicester. Just took the interval, I think. That's the track staff coming back out now. Big 4 races coming up for the Brummies.
Massive 4 races. As you say, heat number 12 coming up, you would expect Drew Kemp to come here in the blue helmet colour.
I think of the races that are left to come up, this Heat 12 worries me. Victor has looked quick. A mistake in his last one probably cost him a point at least. Zach started really well, but was just a little bit tailed off in his last one. Sam Masters has looked untouchable tonight so far, though. And as we expect, Drew Kemp will probably come in. Started fantastic, tailed off a little bit, but he's looked dangerous. So if he can get out the starts, he's more than capable of upsetting a few as well.
Yeah, 100%.
Now, potentially might be a good time to talk about our next planned watch along.
Yeah.
If all goes to plan, obviously with Speedway, everything can change.
Yeah, you totally be. Yeah, so all been well, the next watch along with us will be on Tuesday evening. Plymouth. Plymouth host the British under-21 qualifier with stars such as Luke Harrison, Ashton Bowden, Mickey Simpson. I'm trying to think of names that are in there off the top of my head. I did see the graphic with the whole 60 riders on there earlier this morning. We have a look at Plymouth's Facebook page. I'm sure that's where I found it. Plymouth, here it is. It's going to feature these specific riders: Sam Hagan, Max Perry, Ashton Vale, Chad Wurtsfield, Senna Summers, Ashton Bowden, Freddie Hodder, Ben Trigger, Luke Killeen, Mickey Simpson, Luke Harrison, Max James, Sam McGurk, Vinnie Ford, Jody Scott, Sonny Springer, Kai Ward, and Eli Meadows. So that will be next Tuesday. That's a 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock tapes up at Plymouth.
And then potentially, this is unconfirmed yet, but possibly we may do the Oxford and Glasgow meeting the night after as well. But that's to be confirmed closer the time.
Yes. Yeah, we'll just have to see what happens, and if the whole team are available, then
Alan won't be available on Wednesday. He's going on holiday.
how very dare he?
Lack of commitment to the cause from McNally. Shocking.
I mean, I can't say I'm going on a little weekend away this weekend, but we're committed to our sport, and I'm taking a meeting in.
And sometimes it's nice to have that little break as well. It helps you regroup, and tractors just going back into the pits, riders getting on their bikes, ready for heat number 12.
Yes, we'll be back underway with the action very, very shortly.
Victor Lampard coming round to the tapes in white there.
Yeah, it's a big race, this one, for young Victor, whichever one it's spelt.
Still got 3 people watching us ramble on, so that's cool. As expected, Drew Kemp is in blue, off gate number 3. And it looks like a tactical substitute in yellow, that's Steve Worrell. Interesting call there. So the full lineup of heat number 12, going off the gate number 1 in yellow, the tactical substitute, Steve Worrell. Gate 2 in red, the unbeaten so far, Sam Masters. Gate 3 in white is Victor Lampard, a first place and 2 last places. Looked very impressive in his first place, just a little bit inconsistent. And off the outside in blue, reserve change, Drew Kemp replaces Joe Thompson in blue.
Yeah, the change with Drew pretty much expected, but if you with your virtual team managing head on, would you have put tactical in this one?
I mean, I don't see a world where they would have put it in 13. Vaclav's been underwhelming, and Peter's not quite reached his heights, but I don't think they'd have put it in there. Heat 14, you've got Tom Brennan who's flying and Leon Flint who ride really well together, so it was probably this one or nothing really. And if you've got that option available to you, and Steve's come on really well in his last couple of rides as well, so maybe he can pop out the start.
Hopefully so. The start marshal though, he walks away then from the tapes. The riders look at the magnets. And the tapes have risen, and it's a good start there from Sam Masters once again, and Drew Kemp's with him there out front. Now, what can Steve Wall do in the yellow helmet colour? He's looking to go up, and both the Brummies there have gone up the inside there of Drew Kemp. Drew's gone from hero to zero near enough in this race, but Kemp now back around the outside of the rider in yellow, Stevie Worrell, but Worrell back up underneath him. So this is a cracking race, this heat number 12. Masters is out front and gone, nobody's catching him. Victor Lampard settling there now in the second position, and this race is looking pretty settled now. But it is still Sam Masters, maximum man, out in front. Drew Kemp struggling a little bit in this one. Victor Lampard, though, he's been a bit of a positive in a couple of his rides for the Brummies as they go into the last lap there. It looks like some sparks is coming out from Mr. Lampard's bike there. Sam Masters, though, out in front doing a completely professional job, does a little wheelie over the line, and it's a free all.
And Victor again had a lot of speed there. Looked impressive when he got into second. Did have a little nibble at Sam Masters coming round to take the applause of the fans. 2 last places and 5 points from either of the 2 races. There have been positives for Victor. Steve just missed the start, and Drew Kemp not really in it after the first couple of bends. Made a really good start actually there. I think probably just went a bit too wide off 2. The track grades brought the dirt back down towards the middle of the track and the inside, and Drew Kemp probably expected there to be a little bit more drive on the outside there than there actually was. So the result of heat number 12, it was a win for the rider in red, seeing off a 4-ride maximum for Sam Masters. Second in white, Victor Lampard, and third in yellow, Steve Worrell. Big heat 13 coming up here.
You sound like Rob Godfrey. Every meeting we get big heat 13. But the Brummies offer favoured gates, and hopefully, you 2 Brummies, they can make a gate, and we can have a good race on our hands.
So the lineup for heat number 13 off the inside gate in red is Max Frick, gate 2 in white Vaclav Milik, gate 3 in blue is Ryan Douglas, and off the outside in yellow is Piotr Pawlicki.
Yeah, massive race actually for all 4 riders. This. Dougie obviously since his first ride has scored 5, and obviously Max Frick on 8. Max not going to get a maximum tonight like he did last week. Obviously Milik, he needs to start proving that he's capable of being a heat leader in this league. And Pawlicki obviously still needs time to settle in. He's still coming back from an injury. So, very big heat number 13 coming up.
And Peter actually made a really good start in his last one. Just maybe a little bit of an experience of the track, and the experience of Sam Masters probably cost him a little bit. But the positive there is he made a good gate, and if he can do that again and get the lead out the first turn, hopefully he can get his head down and clear off. He's a rider that flies, and he's so stylish when he's in front.
100%. But Start Marshall Hunt walks away. The tapes has ridden, and it's a decent start. Well, it was a decent start for Vaclav Milik, but both the Lions have got themselves into positions number 1 and 2, and it looks like they're away and gone now, actually. And this will virtually win them the meeting with 2 races left to go. But it's Dougie that has the lead, with followed nicely by Max Frick. Pawlicki is putting pressure on Max Frick. Vaclav Milik tailing off a little bit towards the rear of the field. But Dougie doing Dougie things, taking advantage of that Douglas drive, and he's been protected by Max Frick. Actually, it is good team riding from Max Frick to keep Dougie out in front. Pawlicki tailing off a little bit from Max now, and this is looking pretty even out now. Dougie out in front, doing what he does best. Max Frick following him in the second. The Lions have won this clash as they take a 5-1.
And I think this has got to be the time now where you've got to start questioning whether Vaclav Milik is the answer for Birmingham. He was absolutely miles off there. That was pathetic.
It certainly wasn't his best efforts.
I think Birmingham really need to do a bit of soul searching and find a number one that's gonna do something other than Heat One. He's done nothing, and that was pathetic. You know, Heat 13 separates the men from the boys, and particularly Milik, how far off the back he was. Not good.
Yeah, 100%.
Result of Heat number 13 is a win for the rider in blue, Ryan Douglas. Second in red, Max Frick. And third in yellow, Peter Pavliczky.
That makes the scores on the doors. The Birmingham Brummies 45. The Leicester Lions, 45 to the Birmingham Brummies 33.
Can Birmingham have the 45 points, please?
Yeah, why not?
Pretty please.
Add the cherry on top and you can have the 33 on top of the 45. Quick update from Oxford. Oxford Spires 32, Kings Lynn Stars 34. They're just having their interval now. In the NDL, if anybody's that interested, Scunthorpe and Sheffield have won their meeting 48-42 over Middlesbrough Tigers.
Line up for the penultimate race of the night. Riding off the inside gate in white is Tom Brennan. Gate number 2 in blue, Drew Kemp. Gate 3 in yellow, Leon Flint. Fantastic ride last time out with Steve Worrell in Heat 8 to take the maximum. And off the outside gate in red is Richard Lawson.
Yeah. I think Flinty needs another big ride here.
And again, it comes back down to Birmingham just not having everyone firing on the same night. You know, if some riders step up, other riders kind of go missing, and vice versa. There's no consistent everybody firing in one meeting.
No, you guys, you need all 7 guys clicking at once. But Start Marshall then walked away for heat number 14. It's a great start actually for both the Brummies boys there. A great start for Tom Brennan, but the rider in blue, Drew Kemp, now looking to cut the inside there of Tom Brennan. It's not quite worked out, and Drew going a little bit too wide there. He's not quite clipped the fence, but that has also allowed the rider in red, Richard Lawson, now to come up through the inside of not only Drew but Leon Flint as well. So it's Tom Brennan now leading Richard Lawson. Richard Lawson chasing Tom Brennan down there. Tom just riding a very nice defensive line there. He's just got his back wheel in the dirt. And he's riding a good line. I can't see where Richard Lawson would possibly pass him from here, but anything's possible in Speedway, barring mechanical failures. And Tom Brennan's got this one won with 1 lap left to go. And Tom Brennan really has been a shining star tonight in a disappointing meeting for the Birmingham Brummies. But just like that, it's going to be a win for Tom Brennan.
Yeah, brilliant gate from Tom there, and Leon made a really good gate. Just went out into the wide line, and there was nothing really there. Similar to what Drew did in Heat 12. Disappointing way to end for Leon, but overall some positives for him. Tom gets his first win of the night, and it was a win for the rider in white, Tom Brennan. Second in red, Richard Lawson, and third in blue, Drew Kemp. Makes the progressive scores 48 to the Lions, 36 to the Brummies with 1 race to go. Palmer, who would your lineup for 15 be if you were in charge right now?
I think for for the Lions, you know, you can't see it being past Max Frick and Sam Masters. um, the Brummies, though, it's a bit of a different story. I would be I would be tempted to go for Tom Brennan and Piotr Porlicki, or go for Tom Brennan and Steve Worrell. Really, what about you yourself?
Yeah, I'd probably say the same for as you, to be honest. Potentially a case could be made for Victor Lampard. You know, the meeting's gone. Give him an extra 4 laps on the track for when Birmingham are back here later in the year. And he's looked competitive as well in a couple of his races. I'd say Tom Brennan's a shoe-in for Heat 15. Or with the meeting gone, potentially give Zach Cook his 4th ride after he was tactical substituted out of 12.
That's also a possibility, that, but it's all down to what Sam Ermolenko says, and big one for Andy here. Stuart Dixon says in the pits.
I'm just going to tally up the points from the gates for the last few heats.
And talking of our sponsor, Andy Dugmore, he has just liked our post to say that we was live. So if he's joined us already, good evening. There is three of you watching at the moment, so good evening to you all. Yeah, so while Dill does the 8 points, I'll go down the individual scorers. For the Lions, Max Frick on 10 and 1, Becker on 4 and 1, Sam Masters on 11 and 1, paid maximum, Richard Lawson on 7, Ryan Douglas on 8, Drew Kemp on 8, paid 10, and Joe Thompson failed to score. Vaclav Milik for the Brummies on 4 and a bonus. Steve Worrell on 8 and a bonus. Victor Lampard on 5. Tom Brennan on 6. Piotr Porlicki on 6. Zach Cook 3 and a bonus. And Leon Flint 3 and 2 bonus. And don't forget, all been well, we will be live on Tuesday watching along the British under-21 qualifying meeting. And I'll just get the updates up to see if there's any update from Oxford.
Interestingly, the gates 1 and 3 have become the favoured place to be in these last few heats.
It does sound like there's been a nasty accident at Oxford in heat number 12 regarding Everson and Charles Wright.
Charles Wright's been in the wars a little bit recently, and he had an awkward one at Redcar last week, which you were there for.
Yeah, that essentially was it was just a chain going. It'd hit some dirt, and where he'd normally get the drive, and his chain went, because to be fair, it happened right in front of me. And yeah, it was quite a nasty one.
Riders coming out for heat number 15, that's Max Frick in red. Going from gate number 1. Gate 3 in blue is Sam Masters, the 2 we expected, I think, for the Lions. Gate number 2 in white is Peter Pavlichki. off the outside in yellow, that looks like Tom Brennan. So the full lineup for Heat 15, going off the inside gate in red is Max Frick. Gate number 2 in white is Peter Pavlichki. Gate 3 in blue, looking to complete a full maximum, Sam Masters. And off the outside in yellow, Tom Brennan.
Brennan in yellow. Yeah, so it's been a result aside. Obviously, it's been quite fun doing this one tonight, Dill.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed this. It's just a chance for us to be a little bit different and do something a little bit different. You've obviously done commentary before, but different setup for me and a little bit of fun. And yeah, there's been some good racing. Everything's gone well, and hopefully we can make more of it and do it a bit more.
Yeah, commentary is a lot more fun. You enjoy it more when you're actually having fun yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, the last race then of the night. Start Marshall getting them into riding order. Big John not messing about, making sure they're all equal. He walks away, the tapes rise. It's a decent start actually for the rider in red, Max Frick. But Masters goes round the outside in blue, so it's Frick and Masters leading the race 1 and 2. Tom Brennan hits a bit of a rut there at the back, but at the moment, just can't see where the Brummies are going to pass these two boys out in front. And it's looking much more like it's going to be a comfortable Lions victory. Max Frick out in front doing a professional job, as always. Sam Masters keeping his paid maximum alive, barring any form of mechanical failure. Max Frick just looks really stylish as he comes around the bend. We've got 1 lap left to go, and nobody's touching Frick here. Frick's got this one nailed in the bag. It's going to be a big win for the rider in red, Max Frick.
Pavlichki seemed to drop the clutch and then just snake a little bit then. Bit out of shape and all over the place. And yeah, Sam Masters completes the maximum handshakes between Masters, Pavlichki and Frick. And Tom Brennan just had the unfortunate task of being off the gate that had gone off a little bit as the meeting went on.
Yeah, for sure. For Brummies overall, it has been a tough night with a few positives.
So Heat 15, the result, it was a win for the rider in red, Max Frick. Second in blue, completing a paid maximum, Sam Masters. And third in white, Peter Pavlichki. Gives us a final score of the Leicester Lions 53, the Birmingham Brummies 37. And I can see
aggregates.
I can see you just adding up the tallies now. We'll run through them just to finish up on.
Seven. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 3 and 1, 3 and 2.
So if you want to do the Leicester team and I'll do the Brummies team, and then we'll wrap up for this evening.
So for your victorious Leicester Lions tonight, scoring 53 points, Max Frick scored 13 plus 1, Luke Becker 4 plus 1, Sam Masters paid maximum 13 plus 2, Richard Lawson 7, Ryan Douglas 8, Drew Kemp 8-2, and Joe Thompson failed to score.
For the Brummies, Vaclav Milik scored 4 plus 1, Steve Worrell 8 plus 1, Victor Lampard scored 5, Tom Brennan 7, Peter Pavlichki 7, Zach Cook 3 plus 1, and Leon Flint 3 plus 2.
So, disappointing night for the Brummies, but ultimately an entertaining meeting all around. Dylan, I want to thank you for joining me tonight. I want to thank Andy Dugmore Drum Tuition for sponsoring this event. And thanks to everybody that's watched, tuned in, commented on the video. From me, it's a very good night. We'll see you on Tuesday.